Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another GY. Today, we are here to make a tutorial. So, we are here to make another tutorial. So, let's go ahead and get a timed bowl marker for that tomorrow. So, shit. This thing is still coming out. How did I keep it? Okay. So, so we quickly here, I'm gonna start on to see how many people we have there, right? So I'm just gonna make this tutorial. So hoping that we'll be able to get something done rightly and peacefully. So let's see, okay, like that. So you'll be able to see what everything to do. So first thing, I'm going to start on the basic pattern. We're going to start by drawing a straight line, which is going to be the guideline. I've already drawn a straight line. I'll take my shoulder measurement divided by 2. My shoulder is 14. 14 divided by 2 is going to give me 7. I'm going to slant it down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. I move now to the armhole depth, which is 7.5 inch. After that, I will mark the neck depth, basic neck depth, which is 3 inch. The basic neck width, which is also 3 inch. After doing so, what I'm going to do is to connect these points up with a straight line, just like you can see me doing right here. And I'm also going to roll these lines up like this. Once I am done doing so, I'm going to connect my neck width and the neck depth. Like this. Placing it as straight as possible. And I'm going to connect my armhole depth line. My armhole depth, sorry. Just like this. Now that I am done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead. I will measure up whatever I have from this point to this point and divide it by 2. Which is 7 divided by 2 is going to give me 3.5. I'm going to come in by 1/2 inch. I will come here and put 1/4 of the round bust, which is 34 divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. I'll go ahead now, connect these points up together, just like this. This point, I'm going to connect it up like so, taking all my time and just going up like this, okay? Like so. Now that I am done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and mark the neck, from the shoulder to the bust point. Sorry. From the shoulder to the bust point, which is 10 inch. Shoulder to bust point, 10 inch. Shoulder to the under bust, 13 inch. 13.5 inch, yeah. Shoulder to the line of the top I'm going to be working with. I'm going to do 19. Now let me do 9. Let me do what again? I'm gonna do 19 inch. I will connect these points up with straight line. I'm gonna come here and do another straight line. I'm going to come here and also do another straight line. So once I am done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead now. I will mark the nipple to nipple divided by 2. So my nipple to nipple is going to give me 7 is 7.5 divided by 2 is going to give me 3.075. So what I'm going to do is to come here. I will mark 3.5 inch bust point. I mean the under bust, I'll also mark 3.5 inch, and then at this part I'm just gonna go ahead and mark 3.0275. all right, so I'm gonna do the connecting up like that. 3, and I'm gonna just go ahead and connect it up like so. See what I've just done there, right? So quickly go ahead and hold this up. I don't know why it's moving, but I gotta hold this up. Okay, so I mark 3 inch here, 3.5 inch, 3.5 inch here, and 3.075. Now what I'm going to do is, at this point I'm going to do 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to come here, I will do 1.025, right? Then I'm going to come here and do 1.025 at this other side, and I'm going to do 1/2 inch here. At the bust point, I'm going to go down by 3/4 inch. If you're that bossy, you go down by 1 inch, or even 1.5 inch, or even 2 inch, depending on how bossy. I'm going down by 3/4 inch. For smaller size, go down by 3/4 or 1 inch. Now I'm going to just connect it up like this. You can see that, okay? I'm gonna rule these lines up like that. I'm gonna also come here and do connect it up, just like you can see me doing. I'm gonna rule this line up like this, making sure I have my curve. Done my curve I'm looking for. It should give me real that curve. All right, I have something like this. The next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead now. I'm going to extend this part depending on where you want it to end or start. Now, where am I? So sorry, my phone is kind of not well fixed. Ah, shit. Can I be moving this thing like this? Okay. All right. So you're able to see clearly. So that's what I have right there. The next thing I'm going to do is to come here, depending on where you want it to, and you can come here and go up by 2 inch. All right, you can do 1.5 inch. Okay, you can even do 1 inch. So I'm gonna do 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch. I'm gonna connect this part up like that. Right, but before I go ahead to connect, I have already connected, so there's nothing like before I go ahead to connect. So I've just connected up like that. Now what I'm going to do is to come here and divide these points up by 2, which is 4.1 divided by 2 is going to give me 2 point can we say 0.1. So I'm just going to go ahead and rule this line up to meet up that point. Now that I'm done doing so, I mark up 1.025. So I'm going to come here and also mark that 1.025, which is right there. Then I'm going to come here, I will do 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. First of all, let's do it the natural way we always do, so it should not get you people should not be confused. So I'm going to do 1/2 inch both sides from this side, and then take 1/2 inch. Then I'll connect this up to meet up that point, right? I'm gonna roll these lines up so you actually understand. So you people don't go ahead and confuse yourself. So I'll just mark that point up. I'm going to go out here. You can do 1 inch here, or you can from the center line you go out. So I'm marking 1.025 from the center line, and here I'm going to do 1/2 inch. Yeah, 1/2 inch. All right, Now what I'm going to do is, at this point, I'm going to go down by 1 inch. I'm going to roll that line up. Now I am going to connect these points up to meet up this point. We are going to give it that curve. You can see, making sure we have a curve right there. This part is always supposed to be blended up because you don't want to have it looking funny. So I've just blended that part up. You can see that, right? Now what I'm going to do is to come here and connect these points up like that, like this, right? So just go ahead and bring it up. You see what I've just done there, right? Now I'm going to bring this part up to meet up here. This is the bust point line. You can choose to go from the bust point line by 1 inch depending on how deep you want it to be. I don't want mine to be too deep, so I'm just going to go up by 1 inch. Right, so I'm just going to roll this line up like this. From this part up. Okay, you see what I've just done there, right? So now I'm gonna roll this, bring this up. All right, so we have something like this. Like I said, depending on how deep you want this part to be. All right, so once I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm gonna do is to put my measurements. I'm gonna put the round waist, divide it by 4, which is 28 divided by 4 is going to give me 7. I'll have to replace back this 1.075, you know, 0.075, which is right there. You have to replace it back. Come at the underbust, put 1/4 of the underbust divided, the round underbust divided by 4, which is 38. So let me quickly do some calculation. Okay, so 8, yeah. Boom. Is 7.5. 30 divided by this is gonna give me 7.5. Divided by 4 is gonna give me 7.5. Mark that up. Replace back that 1.075. Now that we are here, what we're going to do is come here like this and put 1/4 of the underbust. 1/4 of the bust, which is right there. 34 divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. Now we need to measure up whatever we have from this point to this point, which is about 1 inch, and I'll replace that back. Now that we are done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is just to go ahead and I'm feeling able to do it from the top part because I did join that part. Okay, we have something like that. Now what I'm going to do, as you can see, we already have that curve we're looking for, right? Can you see that? Can you really see that? Can you see this? Why is this thing moving like that now? Shit. The thing is just bending. Is it my eye that's bending? Or I'm the one bending? Okay, can you see that? So we have something like this, friends, already, which is looking very perfect and good. I'm going to come here. I'm gonna mark the 1 inch. You can do 1 inch, you can do 1.025, you can do 1.5 inch. Now I'm going to connect this up to meet up that point. Okay, now that's really to give it a curve, but we are already having something really good right there, as you can see. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of just come here and go up. You can do it in a form of a bus. Whatever you choose to do is fine. You can choose to come from the waistline, go up by 1.5 inch. Right, then you just connect it up like that. You can choose to even increase this part by 1 inch. Okay, that part is up to you. You can do something like this. Right, so you can do it up like so. Bring it up. Alright, can you see that? You can do it up like that. All right, okay, or you can even make it more. That is good already. It's good. Now this part is just going to be extended to that part up. Yeah. Yep. Now the back is quite very easy and simple. Just gonna draw a straight line. I'm gonna bring this to the front, straight lines, and this part is gonna be up like this. Let me go ahead and do it up from here. So we're gonna do the connecting and the blah blah blah. So we have something like this. I'm going to use my ruler to separate the back from the front like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and put nipple to nipple, which is the same thing like we use for the front. I'm gonna come here and mark that up. I'll rule a straight line right there. All right, now that I am done ruling that straight lines, I'm going to go ahead and mark 1/2 inch. You can do a 1/2 inch both sides. You can do 3/4 inch both sides. All right, I'm gonna connect this up like this to make up this point from here to here, and from here to here. Now that we are done doing that part, the next thing I'm going to do is to put 1/4 of the round bust, which is right there. Now we're going to look for the midpoint of this, which is about 10.0 this 10.3. Okay, so 10.3, I'm going to go ahead and locate it up, which is this up here. So we're going to look for the center. That's the center. That's where the bust, the under bust is right there at this part. Remember, this part is higher than the other one. So now I'm going to put 1/4 of the under bust, which is 7.5. 1/4 of the waist. I'm gonna replace back whatever I borrowed, which is 1 inch. At this point, I'm going to measure up whatever I have here and 3/4 inch and replace that up. At the top part, we have nothing to replace, so I'm just going to go ahead and connect this up. Now that we are done connecting that part up, what I'm going to do now is I want to make sure that this side should match up. Okay, the side of my dish will also match up, so I'm just going to go ahead and place it up like this. All right, so that's just it. They are going to match up. You can choose for your back to just match. All right, so I'm done doing so. I should have connected it from this part straight if you want it to be straight like this. Okay, but I don't want it to be straight. I want it to have a little bit of curve. So now I want it to have kind of not really straight behind. So we're gonna do 1.5 from the back to let me do, no, I'm gonna do 1 inch for the back, and I'll just do come here. I want to kind of have, you're gonna see what I'm working on. Alright, so this is how I want my back to be. Yeah, it's interesting, right? It's really interesting. You can choose to connect yours straight. All right, this part is going to be a little bit slanted, so I'm just going to go down by this ½ inch, no, 3/4 inch. Connect this from this part to make up that 3/4 inch. Remember, this is the side that is going to mash up. You see that? All right, now work on the zipper. Are you going to be adding a zip, or you're not adding a zipper? You're adding loops. If you're adding zip, you add your 1 inch for the zipper, like that. I'm going to just go ahead, my 1 inch for the zipper. I'm gonna connect these points up like that, and also I may end up making this part to be straight from here all the way to that point. Then I'll just have to leave this part, yeah, not really slanted, but it's what it is for now. Like I said, I may end up connecting it straight from here. Measure up whatever you have from this point to this point, which is about whatever you have divided by that, which is almost 10 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and mark the midpoint. From that midpoint, go in by ½ inch. If you are using a zipper, you know, remember, I measure from this part. Sorry, I made a mistake. From this part to this part, which is almost 9 inch. So 9 divided by 2 is gonna give me some answer. So I'm just gonna connect from that part like this. If only you're using a zipper, okay, from here to here, and from here to here, like that. If you're using a zipper, this is what you're going to do. If you're not using a zipper, this is what you're going to do. Instead of adding 1 inch for the zipper, you're going to come and take at least 1½ inch. Normally you're supposed to take -2 inch from there. I always do 1½ inch. 1½ inch is good to go. Remember, when you're taking up 1½ inch, automatically you are taking out 3 inch from the others, I mean from the two sides. Yes, I'm just gonna do straight line, and you see. So if you are making out, if you are making a loops, this one is going to be for the loop. There is no need to add a zipper allowance. So this is what I have. I'm going to level it up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now let's go ahead and cut. Like I said, I can choose to make mine to be so I wanted to curve it at the back, but I choose to just let it be straight at the back. So this part, I'm going to be cutting it from here. All right, so this is what I have. Now let's go ahead and cut. See, the fabric is giving you the vibe, right? Can you see that? So can you see, friends? Let me quickly do how did they take picture from this thing now? I forgot. Oh, not this one. So I don't know how to take the picture, or maybe it doesn't appear that long. So let's just do the cutting. Remember, I'm cutting it up like this. You can choose to snatch yours up, all right? So I'm just gonna have to keep this up because we are still going to cut the dart. So what I'm going to do first of all, just open up this dart here, right? Oh no, so this one, I'm gonna open it all the way to this part. We'll now bring this up like this. What am I doing? Alright, so now bring this up to this part, up to meet up this part. Can you see that curve? Ah! Oh more. You follow me, you don't know how to make this thing, my friend. And you still come and ask me, how did you do this when I'm teaching you already? So bring this up like this to this point to meet up. Sorry. Yeah. A little bit. Alright, so just kind of bringing this up. I don't want that part to be. Oh shit! I know. Just like why? I don't want that part to be twisted, so just bring it up like that. Those lines. Aha! You see? Now, hey, you can see that this part has moved a little bit. Just go ahead and reconnect that up from the top. Right? Can you see that pattern up? That is how I did yesterday, and I misplaced the cup of this, and I couldn't find it now. Let's go ahead and cut this up. Now I'm gonna just bring if you see what I'm checking, sometimes you do this thing at the end of the day, it doesn't matches up with this. So that's why you see me checking here. I have to check it here. Okay. Don't worry, you become a professional one day when you follow me up. You learn on how you can go ahead and create up your own tag. So you see this curve that we have there. We don't want to have that sharp edge. So I'm going to teach you now on how, I'm going to show you now on how you can go ahead and blend that. So we have something like this. And when you cut this part, you'll notice that you have a shortish there. Alright, so don't worry, go ahead and just increase whatever is being short there. So okay, just like this. I'm gonna this part. Be like, I'm gonna just have to place this up and bring it up. I did not even cut this off. So I'm bringing this up like this and bring it up. You see a little bit of shortage. So when we are cutting this, we have to replace back that shortage. Now we see this part that is looking funny. We don't want to have that thing looking funny like that. So what we are going to do is just to go ahead and give it that little curve like they we're gonna blend this up, blend this up like this. We don't want to have that funny curve. Blend it up. Can you see? Aha! Okay. You see? You see what we have? You say if you've been following, I said if you've been following me, you're not able to make your own pattern. Idea. It means that there is something that you don't understand about me. I always take my time to show you everything. So I said I'm cutting this part straight, okay? So making it that I'm not going to use a zipper, so I'm using a loop. You want to see me sew this top? 22 is going to be coming up soon. I'll be using loops. Now, okay. Now you can choose to use this as one piece. One piece. Where? You know what I did? That 1 inch I took out from here. So I'm going to have to just blend this up. You need to, that 1 inch I took out 1 inch. I took 1 inch from here. So that's why automatically it's being short by 1 inch. So what I'm going to do is just to have to go ahead and blend this up to meet up that other point. I was like, oh, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened here? Okay, so automatically we have our 1 inch that is being short. So I'm just gonna I'm thinking that I can just go ahead and do it straight line. No, I'm gonna do it here. No, I don't want this to be looking. You see the way I want my back to be. You can make yours to be straight, like I said. You can make it be straight. I just want the back to be something like that. Alright, so how the back is gonna look. How did I still go ahead to do from here? See 1 inch, sure. Why is so dull? Okay, so I have something like this. Like I said, you can choose to make yours to be half. Straight, okay? From here, straight. But I want mine to have a little bit of that curve at the back. So this is our pattern. You can choose to do it straight. It's up to you. But this is what I choose to do. I'm going to have to make this up. So, thank you. Can you see that? Can you see my pattern? It's just looking like something like this, but very beautiful. Alright, thank you for watching. Hope to see you some other time. Bye. Yep, I won.